What's going on, creepers? How the heck are you guys? I am coming to you from a different part of Portland today. This is the southwest side. I am actually enjoying the beautiful weather here today. And if you guys can see behind me, I am at a cemetery. Now, this isn't just any old cemetery, which I have much respect for any cemetery, any people that have been buried or anything like that. But first and foremost, I wanted to let you know that this is Riverview Cemetery here in Portland, Oregon. And this cemetery is home to many historical people, many monumental figures, if you will, from Portland, people that have been involved with the history of Portland, people that have been pioneers, relatives of the people that have been involved with the background in the city of Portland. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful cemetery. So I wanted to take you guys here today, basically, not only to pay respects to anybody that's buried here associated with Portland, but the real reason why I wanted to take you guys here is to show you the grave of this gentleman. Now, many of you probably recognize this name. Many of you may not. I myself grew up here in Portland, so this name is very familiar to me. Definitely known a lot of brewers, definitely been involved with a lot of people that own restaurants and bars, and this name is one of the most prolific names here in Portland, I think, when it comes to Portland iconicness. This is the grave of Henry Weinhard. Now, a lot of you may say, well, who the heck is Henry Weinhard? If you've ever been to a local grocery store or to a bar, you recognize the name right off the bat. Henry Weinhard was a Portland resident slash historian. He is a beer brewer that was born February 18th, 1830. He actually died at 74 years old. He immigrated to Portland in 1851 directly from Germany and had worked for many, many breweries on the East Coast before he actually decided to call his hometown here in Portland, in which he mastered his brewing skills and got all kinds of information and notions from other brewers and people that are involved in the beer making business. So with that being said, he created his own recipe, and he basically turned himself into a master brewer. Henry Saxer owned a brewery in 1862, which was then purchased by Henry Weinhard. And the story basically goes from there. And if you guys can see, this is the main headstone for the family. But this is actually his specific gravestone head right here. And they're doing a little bit of maintenance up here today. So let me kind of clean this off here for you, Mr. Weinhard. And I wanted to bring you guys up here because this guy has such Portland history. And I love the feeling of cemeteries for some reason. They just seem to have such historical backgrounds to them, and if you get to looking up things online and do your research, it's really cool to see how much ties Portland has to the world, actually, and how far the brewery and beer has come. Now there's so many different brewers, rogue ales, a lot of Portland-based breweries. So this guy basically kind of set the tone for breweries here in Oregon. And so I wanted to take you guys here today and show you this. Not to mention, the rest of this cemetery is absolutely gorgeous. On the walk-in, I was just blown away by some of the headstones and some of the monuments that were put here for people in remembrance. A lot of them have the markings, like this one right here has a pioneer, which I believe that was a writer for maybe the Oregonian at one point, but I don't want to give any information that I'm not 100%. But if you look around, there's also other names that I have recognized here in Portland. Like, for instance, this one right here is Schaefer. I know that that family has definitely had a lot of Portland history and continues to these days. So another reason why I wanted to come up here is because June 7th of 2015, I decided not to drink alcohol anymore. So with that being said, I would hang out with my buddies still, or frequent a restaurant or a bar, and I would opt to have root beer. It was still more of a social thing. I could get it in a tall glass. No one really even knew if I was drinking or not. And honestly, I just loved the taste of root beer. So I figured, why not drink you guys ready for this? That's right, an old-fashioned Henry Weinhard's root beer at his grave. And there he is on the bottle, if you guys can see. So yeah, this kind of was just an inspiration for me to come up here, show you guys this grave, enjoy one of his root beers, which was probably fabricated after the fact, but he paved the way for so much here in Portland, including all the microbreweries. A buddy of mine has a joke where he says, "Thanks to all the microbreweries for making my alcoholism look like a hobby." So I always thought that was pretty cool. So let's go over here, and I'm gonna set you guys down just for a minute, and I'm gonna crack this Henry Weinhard's open right here at the headstone of Mr. Henry Weinhard himself, and just pay respects by hanging out here with him and enjoying one of his root beers. Let's see, I believe this is a twist off. So I saved this too. It was a long commute up here, bud. So this is for you, Mr. Weinhard. Thank you for everything that you've done for the beer community. You've created so much here in Portland for so many people and so many different ties. So cheers to Mr. Weinhard's, and I'm going to sit here and drink a beer right up your headstone, bud. Now that's good stuff, creepers. I'm a huge connoisseur of root beer. There's a lot of open markets out here in Portland. Saturday market, the food carts, a lot of restaurants carry this Weinhard's root beer. I've had many of root beers, but I have to say the orange cream and the vanilla cream and just the classic root beer, hands down, so good. So I think I'll do a little one here and just kind of pour a little bit out here for Mr. Weinhard and his family to pay respect. So anyways, I'm just gonna sit here and enjoy the day for a little bit and just kind of stand in the ambiance of the cemetery and enjoy the beautifulness. But I want to stick around. I want you guys to stick around because I've definitely got some really cool, more Portland iconic vlogs coming your way. Sorry, I've had a burp. This root beer is pretty bubbly, but I love you, creepers, and I'm gonna call it. If you haven't hit that like button, please do. And with that being said, for Mr. Weinhard's gravestone, drinking a Henry Weinhard's root beer, Creep, we're out for now. I love you guys.